Authority local forecast.
Spring's in the air, and pretty soon we got the Silver Spur Rodeo coming our way. The question is, what's the weather going to be like out at the fairgrounds? We'll get into that in a little bit, but in the meantime, your RV World UMA Skycam giving you a hazy kind of look at our area from this particular vantage point. Here's what else we have in regards to your satellite radar perspective. Yes, we do have those kind of high clouds kind of rolling through, and needless to say, that party's going to continue as we get on into this evening, although there'll be lighter increments as we go along, but nonetheless we're looking at a partly to mostly cloudy kind of sky through much of the evening. As far as the wind speed's concerned, we certainly have gotten that today. We got a consistent clip between 10 to 20 miles an hour just along the Colorado River corridor, and then you go over to the Imperial Valley and the lion's share of it is pretty much here. We're talking 15 to 30 mile per hour winds, potentially gusting up to about 35 miles an hour as well. Of course, you do have a wind advisory in effect for the area around Ocotillo. Seems to be getting most of the wind advisories nowadays. So that's going to last until about 5 or 6 in the morning come Wednesday. As far as the temperatures go, we're looking at the 80s for the most part, low to high end 80s through and through as far as the Imperial Valley is concerned. On the UMA side of things, we're also keeping the range in the high 80s as well, which is a nice delight compared to what we had in recent days. We've been hanging out in the 90s, which isn't bad for this time of year by any means, but 80s is even better. All right, your future cast, we have this trough of low pressure. This is the culprit to the cool air effect that we're getting now, and that'll stay in place at least for the next couple of days. So this thing is going to stick around. Eventually it's going to go, but you know, we're hoping it'll hold on for at least a few days, and it should through the rest of the week. Here's a look at tonight's scenario. This is what's been going on today as well. We got a dry airflow, which is conducive to fire danger, especially as you go further to the east. We're talking the interior west from Las Vegas, stretching into portions of the Grand Canyon State, even New Mexico as well, but not so much the desert Southwest, although we are pretty dry. And of course, we do have an upper level system that's going to bring it further to the north, which won't affect us, but our winter visitor friends that are heading back home in the coming weeks. 81 degrees by 7 p.m. We're going to be checking in around the mid 60s by the midnight hour. We'll wake up into the high in 50s. And of course, for your extended forecast, we are going to have very nice conditions for the next couple of days. And then we're going to elevate it even further into the 80s. That can last us through the weekend, which will be great. So if you're heading out to the rodeo, that's good news right there before we really start to get toastier as we get on into next week.